4 ways the world could end today. When you think about it, life is a fragile and delicate thing. Thousands and thousands of species have come and gone, extinct, evaporated and exterminated, millions of years before human evolution was even a twinkle in Charles Darwin's gammy eye. The supposed reality is that we are trapped on a watery ball, spinning through the universe at approximately 1,000 miles per hour, propelling around the sun, stuck to this gigantic rock by a force called gravity that is so strong it can hold a mountain in place, but so invasive that I can defeat its laws just by picking my nose. It would only make sense that the margins of error for life itself are very faint and have been routinely capsized in the vast history of our planet. If we weren't in this exact same position in our solar system, in conjunction with our own sun, we would look more like the barren lands of Venus or Mars, and life would be unsustainable. It's amazing that we're here today, but one flick of the switch and it's over for human beings, just like it was before and just like it will be again. Asteroid, comet and meteorite impacts. When I say the world could end today, obviously I mean human beings. Planet Earth will continue to exist in some way or shape, and probably in a better shape without us on it. There are many biblical stories of floods and catastrophes, but one thing we do know is that we have been shook by asteroid and meteor impacts numerous times in the past. The Beringer crater in the USA is the most damning proof we have been struck by large interplanetary objects in the past. Scientists believe that a 7.5 mile wide asteroid struck the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago and wiped out the dinosaurs and 3/4 of the planet's life in the process. But large-scale asteroid impacts only happened millions of years ago when the universe was more unstable than nowadays, right? Wrong. 2 times every year, planet Earth passes through the Taurid meteor stream, which is a giant tube of debris in our solar system that is 30 million kilometers wide. Many scientists believe that this is the source of the numerous asteroids and meteorites that have struck Earth in the past, and it's still as dangerous today as ever. We pass through the Taurid meteor stream twice yearly for 12.5 days in both June and November. Scientists have detailed there could be 200 or more asteroid objects in the stream with a diameter of 1 kilometre or more that could have a catastrophic effect if they hit planet Earth. Researcher and author Graham Hancock, armed with evidence from geologist Randall Carlson, believes that a massive asteroid struck North America approximately 12,800 years ago during the last ice age. Hancock theorises that the asteroid struck a huge glacier that covered North America at the time, resulting in massive flooding across North and Midwestern America that also had a dramatic effect on the world's climate and brought on the onset of a period known by scientists as the Younger Dryas. Hancock and Carlson are armed to the teeth with hordes of geological evidence that points to wide-scale floods in North America during that time. Hancock believes these floods caused by the asteroid strike wiped out the majority of mammoth species across the continent, and this is only 12,800 years ago. He also believes that the floods are the same ones that are mythologized in the Bible and other ancient writings. Although many scientists challenge Hancock's theory because of the lack of proof of such a strike during that time period, a large asteroid crater was recently discovered under the ice in Greenland, which fits Hancock's theory. However, the jury is still out. As city-sized asteroids routinely miss Earth, in a relative sense by a mosquito's testicle, it is only a matter of time before one hits us directly. Let's hope it's not in our lifetime. Solar winds, storms and flares. People underestimate the possibility that everything we know and love could easily be wiped out in seconds by powerful solar winds emitted from the sun. The sun is the source of life, warmth and energy in our solar system, so it's pretty much the main catalyst for our existence. If you happen to be a sun worshipper, some might say you're on the right path, especially when compared to an old bloke with a grey beard who acts all godly. However, what gives and brings life can also take it away in dramatic fashion. The sun is more active and fascinating than you could possibly perceive. Did you know that the sun accounts for 99.86% of the mass in our solar system? Over 1 million planet Earths could fit inside the sun. The energy created by the sun's core is nuclear fusion, and temperatures inside this fiery ball can reach 15 million degrees Celsius. It's pretty hot by anyone's standards. Solar winds and flares are essentially ejections of plasma, otherwise known as extremely hot, charged particles that originate from the coronal layer of the Sun. They can travel through the solar system with speeds reaching up to 450 kilometers per second. Although Earth's atmosphere usually protects us from radiation emitted from solar winds, astronauts are routinely subject to potentially high doses of radiation, when they are in space of course. A massive solar storm/flare in July 2012 barely missed planet Earth according to NASA. The Space Organisation has said there is a 12% chance that a similar event could happen before 2022. Although such a solar flare might not kill off all humanity, the radiation could be catastrophic. It would wipe out the entire electrical and communication systems in the world. As humans don't really live in one with nature anymore, the knock-on effect of such a thing would destroy the modern world as we know it. One positive thing is we won't have to listen to Lil Wayne or Nicki Minaj anymore, so I suppose every cloud has a silver lining. Pole reversals and shifts. I always knew that everything in the world was upside down. It has become a documented fact over the past 50 years that from time to time the magnetic field on planet Earth weakens, which results in the North and South poles reversing or shifting. For all we know, this has happened thousands of times before, and could have been the reason why entire species of animals suddenly cease to exist without any warning. It would seem that pole reversals are generally the rule, not the exception. But how often do they happen? And could they cause the demise of humankind? A NASA article in 2011 stated that scientists estimate that pole reversals have happened hundreds of times during the past 3 billion years. On average, pole reversals happen every 200,000 to 300,000 years. The last time a major pole reversal took place was approximately 780,000 years ago, so we are long overdue. Scientists have called this the Brunus-Matayama reversal. However, fossil records from that time show almost no change in animal or plant life. Doomsday hypothesizers say that the weakening in the Earth's magnetic fields and pole shifts are somehow linked to the increases in solar flare activity. It is true that a weaker magnetic field can lead to solar radiation increases, but is not believed to be deadly. Some pole reversal researchers believe that eroding magnetic fields on planet Earth could cause a mass extinction for humans by letting in dangerous levels of solar radiation. Scientists have stated that the Earth's magnetic field has been weakening for roughly 3,000 years, and that poles attempted to switch 40,000 years ago but failed for some reason. This is a part of science and geology that we are only just beginning to understand, but as sure as night follows day, there will be another pole shift in the future of planet Earth. Playing God with technology. Playing God with technology is what human beings do best. If there is a new form of technology such as lasers, DNA manipulation, artificial intelligence, weather-changing machinery or game-changing weaponization, you better believe that not only are our governments already on it, but are 50 years ahead of where we actually think they are. Obviously, one of the most worrying factors are things such as nuclear weapons. It is entirely possible that our megalomaniac world leaders could blow us all to smithereens in the name of peacekeeping, or democracy, or some other word that says one thing yet means something completely opposite. Let's be honest, without any wars, how can they test the new weapons to see if they can bomb countries back to the Stone Ages? It's safe to say that some of our supposed world leaders are absolute nutcases who could end humanity as we know it by pressing the big red button. There is a school of thought that ancient civilizations on the Indian subcontinent already found nuclear energy in the distant past and wiped out vast areas of India. They are called the ancient nuclear wars, and although it is a very controversial subject, it's definitely worth a look. However, there is another form of technology that could also eventually be instrumental in the downfall of human beings. As we begin to see the evolving nature of artificial intelligence and robot technology, maybe the Matrix ethos of super-intelligent robots taking control of humanity is not as crazy as we once thought. Playing God with artificial intelligence and DNA manipulation is something that the human civilization could well do without. The Tesla car inventor and tech guru, Elon Musk, reckons that it's highly possible that we are already living in a simulation created by AI robots. And if it is possible that artificial intelligence has the ability to enslave humankind in a computer simulation for our consciousness, There's a good chance it's already happened and we are not living in base reality as we speak. When you think about it, our reality is supposedly made up from ones and zeros in binary form. Even the subatomic particles that are the building blocks of our reality only act like solid things when consciously observed. When we are not looking at the electrons or protons, they act like waves instead of solid particles. Who really knows the truth? We could already be living in an holographic universe. AI robot technology is already a controversial subject. Facebook shut down 2 AI robots in 2017 because they created a new language without instruction to communicate with each other more quickly. It reminded us just how careful we have to be in regards to allowing automated AI to run certain parts of our society in the future. And then there's the issue of military-style robots that are already in the prototype stage that can perform feats that human soldiers can only imagine. Who knows the potential for disaster if certain nations had robot armies with zero empathy at their disposal? Technology can be a fantastic thing, but in the wrong hands could most definitely end humanity as we know it. Just remember that as sure as life is preceded by death in the path of individual people, the same inevitability of humans becoming extinct in the future is almost definite. It's just the bets are currently off the table in figuring out which way will mess it all up.